Good morning. Next topic is data analysis and interpretation. So we have already discussed collection of data and its measurements. Now we are moving to the next topic, that is data analysis and interpretation. So after processing, the researchers' next step is analysis and interpretation. Without proper analysis, the collected data have no utility or importance. So collected data must be analyzed using different tools and techniques, and it must be interpreted in a suitable manner. Generally, statistical tools are used for analyzing the data. A number of statistical tools are available for analyzing the data collected. Statistical techniques help in scientifically summarizing and analyzing the data collected for the study. A researcher, besides the collection and analysis of data, has to interpret the results of the analysis. He has to draw inferences and explain their significance. That is interpretation. Drawing inferences and explaining their significance. That is what is called interpretation. Through interpretation, the meanings and implications of the study become clear. Statistical methods. Statistics is the science of counting or the science of estimates and probabilities. It is the process of collecting data and making decisions based on the analysis of data. Statistics is the process of collecting data and making decisions based on the analysis of collected data. Then the entire domain of statistics can be divided into two. They are descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Okay, first one is descriptive statistics and second one is inferential statistics. First of all, descriptive statistics. What does it mean? Descriptive statistics describe the basic features of the data in a study. Descriptive statistical methods merely summarize and describe the situation based on the collected data. Simply summarize and describe the situation based on the collected data. That is what descriptive statistics does. Okay. Then second one is inferential statistics. Inferential statistics deals with drawing conclusions and inferences about the population based on sample data collected from the population. So in our case, most of the studies we are using inferential statistics. That means we are taking a sample from the population and collecting data from the sample, and on the basis of the study, on the basis of studying the sample, then we will come to the conclusion that the uh, data collected from the sample belongs to the population. So it enables us to make conclusion about the nature of the entire group. That means population. We are not studying the entire elements of the population. We are just studying the sample taken from the population. And inferential statistics helps to make conclusion about the population, nature of the population, based on the data we have collected from the small portion of the group. Small portion of the group means small portion of the population. That is what is called sample. Types of analysis. We can classify the analysis into two types: descriptive analysis and inferential analysis. First one, descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis is undertaken with the help of descriptive statistical methods. So we have discussed what is descriptive statistical methods. So descriptive analysis is undertaken with the help of descriptive statistical methods. The intention of descriptive analysis is to describe the basic feature of the data in a study. That is the intention of descriptive analysis, just to describe the basic features of the data in our study. Univariate or unidimensional analysis. Univariate analysis refers to the analysis of one variable at a time. At a time, we are analyzing only one variable. A single variable has three main characteristics that are typically described as: first one, distribution; second one, central tendency; and third one is dispersion. Okay, so this includes the display of the data through frequency tables, that is distribution, tables and diagrams like a bar chart, pie chart, histogram, etc. Then measures of central tendency, that is mean, median, mode, etc. And measures of dispersion like range, standard deviation, etc. Bivariate analysis. Bivariate analysis in connection with the analysis of two variables. Bivariate analysis is concerned with the analysis of two variables at a time in order to know whether the two variables are related. We are analyzing two variables at a time, but it's the purpose of analysis here to know whether the two variables are related or not. A variety of techniques are available for examining the relationship between two variables, but their use depends upon the nature of two variables being analyzed. Okay, different techniques are there, but which technique is to be followed depends upon the nature of the two variables being analyzed. Types of bivariate analysis. First one is correlation analysis. A correlation is a single number that describes the degree of relationship between two variables. If the measure of correlation is 0, it means that there is no correlation. On the other hand, if it is 1, it indicates that there is perfect correlation between the two variables. Okay, and in between 0 and 1, different degrees of correlations are there. Regression analysis. It is a study of functional relationship existing between two variables. Regression analysis helps to predict the unknown values of one variable from the known values of other variable. That is the purpose of regression analysis. Regression analysis helps to predict the unknown values of one variable from known values of another variable. And regression analysis is also known as causal analysis. Multivariate analysis. Multivariate analysis refers to the simultaneous analysis of three or more variables. Okay, here we are analyzing at a time three or more variables. Important multivariate techniques frequently employed in our research are: first one, multiple correlation analysis and multiple regression analysis. So we have already discussed that correlation analysis tries to measure the magnitude and direction of relations between two variables. Multiple and partial correlation analysis extends the same notion between a single variable and a set of other variables. Okay, so in multiple correlation and in partial correlation, a relation between one variable with a set of other variables are studied. Multiple regression analysis is used to determine the functional relationship between a dependent variable and a set of independent variables. So in multiple regression analysis also we try to determine the functional relationship between a dependent variable and a set of independent variables. Discriminant analysis. In this analysis, two or more groups are compared. In marketing research, it is often required to find out how do the consumers who buy a particular brand are different from others who buy competitors' brands. Okay, we have to decide how do the consumers who buy a particular brand of product are different from others who buy competitors' brand. The exercise starts with a profile of the consumer measured on a set of variables such as age of the consumers, income of consumers, education of consumers, etc. The discriminant analysis attempts to construct a function with these variables so that consumers belonging to different groups are differentiated maximally. Analysis of variance, ANOVA. It's a statistical test. It is used to test for comparing three or more sample means by examining the variance of the sample data. It is used mainly for comparing three or more sample means by examining the variance of the sample data. Based on the means, inference is drawn whether sample belongs to same population or not. Here, based on the means, and the inference is drawn whether the sample selected from the same population belongs to same population or not. It is generally employed for analyzing experimental data. It is ANOVA or analysis of variance is mainly employed for analyzing experimental data. Results of analysis show whether the experimental variables affect the response pattern or not. Factor analysis. Here the information from a large number of interrelated variables are summarized into few factors. Each factor is a combination of many variables. Each factor is a combination of many variables. In each factor, a number of variables will be there. Factor analysis tries to identify the main factor or the basic factors underlying the subject respondents. It is also applied for reducing a large set of variables into fewer factors or manageable size. Factor analysis is also applied for reducing a large set of variables into a fewer factors of manageable size. Cluster analysis. Cluster analysis is a technique used for classifying objects in groups. This can be used to sort data into homogeneous groups based on their characteristics. The resultant clusters are named by the researcher on the basis of their characteristics. Okay, so this technique is used mainly for classifying objects into homogeneous groups based on their characteristics. We can create some clusters, homogeneous groups based on their characteristics. Conjoined analysis. Conjoined analysis measures the joint effect of two or more attributes that are important from the customer's point of view. So it tries to measure the joint effect of two or more attributes that are very important from the point of view of study. Once we know the utility levels for these attributes, we can combine these to find the best combination of attributes that gives the customer highest utility, and the second combination that gives the second highest utility, and so on. Okay, so using this analysis, we measure the joint effect of two or more attributes relating to a particular product, service, like canonical correlation analysis. Canonical correlation is defined as a correlation between the linear combination of dependent variables and a linear combination of independent variables. Canonical correlation is defined as a correlation between the linear combination of dependent variables and linear combination of independent variables. When the researcher has multiple dependent and multiple independent variables, this technique is used to determine the relations between them. So when the researcher has multiple dependent and multiple independent variables, canonical correlation analysis is used to determine the relations between them. Statistical derivatives. Statistical derivatives are obtained by simple computation from the given data. By making simple computations, we will get statistical derivatives. They are very easy to compute and they give meaningful insights into the data. Statistical derivatives are very easy to compute and they give meaningful insights to the data. The most commonly used statistical derivatives in research are, first one, percentages, second one, ratios, and third one is rates. So first of all, percentage. Frequency distribution gives the number of cases in each group. In frequency distribution, we will get the observations and corresponding frequencies. A relative frequency distribution, on the other hand, gives the proportion of cases in individual cases. So when we take relative frequency distribution, we will get proportion of cases in each individual cases. On multiplication by 100, the percentage frequencies are obtained. Okay, so that is a percentage. Then ratio. Another descriptive measure that is commonly used with frequency distribution is the ratio. It expresses the relative value of frequencies. Ratio expresses the relative value of frequencies. It may be by comparing any one group to either the total number of cases or any other group. It may be by comparing any one group to either the total number of cases or any other group. As the number of categories increases, the ratio is better derivative for presentation because it will be easy and less confusing. Ratios are very easy and less confusing. Types of ratios. First one, distribution ratio. This is the ratio of the part to the total population. So this ratio is calculated on the basis of a part of the population to the total population. Interpreter ratio. This is the ratio of a part to another part in the population. One part to another part in the population. Okay. Time ratio. This expresses the changes in a series of values arranged in time sequence. Time ratios express the changes in a series of values arranged in time sequence. There are two types of time ratio. First one is fixed base period ratio and second one moving base ratio. So first one is fixed base period ratio. Under this method, a year is taken as base and against that year's performance, other year's performance will be measured. For example, the performance of 2015 is taken as base and against that year 2015's performance, other years 2016, 17, 18, 19 like year's performance will be measured. Moving base ratio. Here, any year's performance will be measured in comparison with its previous year's performance. 2020's performance will be measured in comparison with 2019's performance, and 2019's performance will be measured in comparison with 2018 performance, and so on. Rate. Rate is an extension of ratio and is usually expressed in percentage. It is measured as the number of actual occurrences divided by the number of possible occurrences. How it is calculated? It is measured as the number of actual occurrences divided by the number of possible occurrences. For example, the rate of cultivated land in the country is given by the total area cultivated divided by the total cultivable land in the country. Okay. Similarly, unemployment rate, literacy rate, infant mortality rate, etc. are calculated using the same method. Okay, thank you.